Good afternoon. Welcome to the Wyatt Live conversation. Yo, I'm a little bit late. I'm sorry. Better late than never, right? Let's do a sound check. Am I here? Am I good? How'd you know, sis? Boy, today was a peanut butter and jelly day. Yeah, I have to eat. It's one of two things every day. It's probably a third. I love grilled cheese as well. Sound check every day. It's either a bologna sandwich. Look at all my fake Muslims and shit. Oh, you eat that pork. You do too. Stop. My mic sound nice. What's up, Donna? Thank you. I got about an hour, guys, okay? YouTube good, Preston? Thank you. How's Twitch over there? Anybody know? Good on Facebook? Thank you, Edward Bentley. Hey, I appreciate the familiar names. Thank you. Let me do the familiar names real fast if you guys don't mind. It's only 4 of you. I'm just kidding. Preston, what's good? Dominique, what's good? Crystal, what's good? LaDonna, what's good? I'm saying this shit so fast, like I got a long list of people. We just getting here. Crystal, what's good? LaDonna, what's good? Brenda Early, what's happening? Let's see. Mama Birch, what's good? Alethea, what's happening, sis? Long time no talk to. Dominique, what's up, Neek? What's good with you? Preston, what's good? Ed, what's good? Edley. Edward said Edley. That's Edley is Edward and Bentley together. Edley. My bad. I didn't mean to screw up the name, Big E. I didn't mean to do that. Tanika, what's good? Regina, what's happening? Sabrina Calloway, what's happening with you? Stephanie Hyde, what's happening, cuz? So do I, Tanika. I love peanut butter and jelly. Lamont Jones, what's good? What's happening? Real players coming in the building today. Thank you. I appreciate you guys being here. It means a lot. Just the few and the twos that we get, I'm okay with it. Trust me, I never love crowded buildings. Never like crowds unless I'm getting paid off of them. Michelle Hardy, what's good? Now you can give me a building full of people, right? Only if I'm getting paid. But if I'm not getting paid, or if it's just some long, I'm like just GP just being there, like in a nightclub or in a hot spot or some old shit, crap game, or some shit like that. Terry Anderson, what's good? I don't want a big crowd. I gotta know what direction the exit is in. Is it just me? Where my old heads at, man? Where my guys? Where my one guys at, man? I'm still from the day. Look, I'm a good guy. I'm not a street dude. We all know all that shit, right? But I was raised not to put my back to the door. When we go to the restaurants, I could be with my family in the best neighborhood in the world at a restaurant. I don't put my back to the door. I need to see what's coming. And it might not be like some, what y'all think I'm talking about. It's just me. Twin, what's good? Andrea, what's good? I'm just saying I don't sit with my back. Regina, what's happening? With my back to the door. Some of us are raised different. I gotta see what's coming in. Now, let's put it in proper perspective for those that always want to think that maybe I'm talking about some old rugged gang shit or some old dumb shit that I've never been a part of in my life. Be honest with you. I don't put my back to the door because I need to see who coming in. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to America the last 10 years. You understand? What up, Jay? Justin Sharp. Praise the Lord. My man and then got God. Yeah, that changed your heart, don't it? Don't it? God changed your heart. When you put him first, you change your heart. You do shit different. God make you appreciate the things in your life. I ain't talking to just Justin. God make you appreciate the things in your life. You know what he got to do? He don't do it. He let you do it. You lose shit. You lose things in your life to understand how valuable and how precious they truly are. You need to hit me up, brother. You need to hit me up, brother. I'm here for you. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. Anytime you need an ear. Because sometimes speaking to God, he'll talk to you in a certain kind of way. You probably still don't hear him, though. Because God don't talk to you the way you think he does. I ain't no preacher. I'm just telling you the way I get it. Sometimes God sends you people to speak for him. You heard? Sometimes that's how we get those messages relayed to us, brother. I'm here. Real talk. I've always been here for you, bro. I've always looked up to any brother, whoever supported me and what I'm trying to do and what I've been doing and what I've been saying. You don't have to agree with everything I talk about, but I love family men. I love men who take care of their families. Even the ones that talk shit about me behind my back. Even those that I have praised and gave certain accolades to and said everything that I possibly could to make them be stand-up individuals. I've always talked good about my people here on the page and that's been part of the family. Even those that go off and talk bad about me, I still won't say anything bad about you. I'm built like that. I'm here for you, Justin, if you need it. If you need me. Because listen, challenges make us strong. Deep water teaches us how to float. It's hard to float in shallow water. You can stand there. But when the water get deep, you need to float. You need to learn how to float. I'm here for you, brother, if you need me. I lost track because Justin's a good guy. Real good guy, and I lost track of what I was saying before. So I'll just start over a little bit. I don't sit with my back to the door. What's up, John Ludd? I could have sworn somebody just rang my gate. I think someone just rang my gate. I got to take a quick break, guys, because I'm waiting for the guy to come clean something in the back. Okay, so let some people come in. Let me see if I got a thing here. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. My apologies. I had to get that. I had some people coming to the house to work on some things. Maybe I'll explain at the end of the show, toward the end of the show, what I got going on here at the house, and just some cleaning that needed to be done. And I know some people, when I played that song again, that was the intro song for the day. They may have logged out when I first got on. I mean, when you first got here, because they don't like to listen to the music. And then when they came back, they may have heard it again. And they like, damn, he's still playing that. But no, y'all know we had to take a quick break. I ran to the front because I had to let these folks in. They rang the gate and I had to let the gate up. They don't have to pass. Whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And I really need to take care of that. That's why the show is going to be short today. I don't like people looming around my crib without any supervision, if you want to call it that. So welcome to the show today. I got about an hour. If you guys have an hour, I got an hour. I want to thank everybody. Shout out to my man Justin. All right, y'all heard what I said. Justin, my door is always open for you, brother. That's all I wanted to say. I never sit with my back to the door. Yeah, I'm back on that. I just wanted to justify. I wanted to make everybody understand why I feel that way. And it's not because of what you might be thinking on some gang shit, all this, all that. No, it's because of the temperature of America in the last few years, 10 years or so. All these random shootings and active shooters and stuff, they hit soft targets. I'm going to be honest with you. I go to a lot of soft targets in my life. I don't want to be anywhere that people are scared to come in because there might be a bunch of guns in there that might retaliate, might shoot back. No, I don't really go in places like that. I go to soft targets, bowling alleys, movie theaters, restaurants, soft targets. So no, I'm not worried about getting jumped by the Crips or the Bloods and no shit like that. I'm more afraid of active shooters coming in, shooting up soft targets. So my wife and them already know when we walk into a restaurant, if I had the kids, the family with me, everyone knows daddy ain't gonna sit right. There's certain places you can't sit me in a restaurant. You can call me bougie. You can call me whatever you feel best describes whatever you think I am. But I don't sit in certain places in restaurants. The first place is I don't sit at the front of the door. And I don't sit with my back to the door. I don't sit next to the kitchen. I don't care how long the wait is and that table becomes available. Don't put me in the path of the kitchen. And third, and mostly of all, don't sit me in the back or on the corner next to the restroom where the bathroom is. That's a no. 45-minute wait for your table, Mr. Wyatt, but your table's available now. And you sit me next to the restroom, my table is not ready yet. I'll wait another however long it's going to take me. I'll be back. Going to be another hour, I'll be back. And my family think I'm crazy for one thing. They don't like the fact that I don't like waiting for tables. Like when people say it's a 30-minute wait, fuck all that. I'll go somewhere else. Find me somewhere where I can sit down and eat like right now. Because number one, if you really about it, you know what I'm saying? If you're really about that one lifestyle, you make a reservation. I ain't never made a reservation for a restaurant for Ocean Prime, and it was for 7:00. And when I got there, they told me, it's a 30-minute wait. No, that's not how those type of places function. No, 7:00 means 7:00. Now, if you want to go to Fridays or Outback on a Friday night or a Saturday or something of that nature, and you just show up, it could be a 45-minute wait. But reservations are not required. So if I'm having that type of night where I'm just going to Outback or Fridays type of a situation, no, them places ain't that special to be waiting 45 minutes for. I'm sorry, I go right in. Most of them have the same type of restaurant nearby. They all competitive and they all right around each other. What's the difference between Outback and Fridays? They both got the 2 for $10, 2 for $12 shit. They all get the same shit from, it's the same thing to me. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest with you. When I used to eat McDonald's or whatever, if the drive-through line at McDonald's was too long, fuck it, I go across, Wendy's right there. I can go to Wendy's. If I'm at a taste for a hamburger, I got a taste for a hamburger. It don't really matter if it's Wendy's, McDonald's, or Burger King for me. I would prefer one over the other, but I ain't gonna die. I'm not gonna die if I have to take one of the other two options. That's just me. Fast food is fast food. That's just how it go. But anyway, man, I was just thinking today. few things on my mind. I've talked to some people today. Some of you know who you are. And I'm chill today. I'm glad I had a couple conversations today that allowed me to get some shit off my chest and not bring it over here on the air. I'll be honest with you. I'm probably a better man than I was about 4 hours ago. Oh, I was about to revisit Ran. And I just don't do that. I should be better than that. I should be able to compose myself and be a better. I am a better man than I used to be, but this podcast shit is a little bit different. And what I got to do is I got to understand that I guess I open myself up for criticism for being here and doing what I do, voicing my opinion, being big enough to give sometime oppositional, in most cases, oppositional point of view than most people are used to, depending on where you live and what you've been around your whole life. But it take a big person sometimes. I don't know if it take a brave person or a foolish person to sometimes stand up and say what you got to say. I think, quite honestly, it's easy to sit back and talk to people who agree with you all the time. That's if all you're doing is talking to people and y'all just agree on everything, like you agree everything. I don't really understand that. I mean, like, I do in a sense, but if we all agree on something and we're going to talk about it, if it's something that needs to be fixed and we all agree that this is something that we need to work on and get fixed, I would think that the conversation would be, how do we fix it? What do we do to make it right? How do we get to the bottom line? How do we make it right? What do we need to reconstruct? What do we need to redo? How do we do that? I've never been in a room of people that just bitch and complain about what's wrong. That's day one. If I'm on a 30-day project, like I was doing audits in my offices. Okay, when I go do an audit, I don't spend 3 days per office and talk about what's wrong. I can get what's wrong in the first 3 or 4 hours. The next 2.5 days is I'm fixing the problem. I'm not talking about for 3 days. I got enough what's wrong in the first 3, 4 hours of the first day visit. I got 2.5 days to now fix the problem. Pretty standard how that's just basic. I'm not going to go to a city and spend 3 days on the problem or, talking about the problem. I got it. What do I need to do to fix it? Because that's where the energy needs to go. The easy part is talking about what's wrong. I would think that the hard thing to do is how do we fix it? I guess if you really want to fix it. If you're okay with the problem, then you just keep talking about it. That makes sense too. Don't make sense in my world and a few other people's world, but it makes sense for people that bitch and complain about the same thing over and over and over again. It's like you really either don't have a solution to the problem or you care not to even fix the problem. So I want to thank a few people, not out loud. You know who you are. Thanks for the conversation in the last couple, 2, 3 days. Thank you. God knows. Hey, let me ask you something. In the city of Cincinnati, I was going to bring this up yesterday. Did you guys hear that 3CDC is working on a project in Over the Rhine? The city is excuse me, I should say 3CDC is doing a project in Over the Rhine and they're doing a new community center. What's up, Carolyn Smith? What's going on, Kimberly? Did I miss anyone of saying hello? I hope not. Fame Rosting, what's good? Ed, what's good? My excuse if I missed your name today is that I had to pause the show and go open the door, the gate. And so I missed you. Been about that check. What's good? But they're starting a community. I don't know if it's a community center. Did anybody? I put the article in the Wyatt Live Messenger group for those that may have seen it. I think I did it a day or two ago, and the city is contributing like $34 million. Here's my question though: who they doing that for? This isn't some negative shit, because this is positive that they're doing this, right? But if I'm not mistaken, and I mean this in a, I don't know how to say it and not make it sound like it's negative. I don't want to be negative, but the truth of the matter is, that land is starting to convert a little bit. Have you seen over the Rhine and seen the people that are now stabilized, going into these communities now, and see that the brick buildings, you see how they're refurbishing the area and doing some different things, and you see how the real estate has gone up in value? Stephen Speed just said it. He said new community center going to have a dog park. I can tell you this right now. It ain't gonna be no pit bulls and no motherfucking Rottweilers walking around that dog park. You get what I'm saying? I think Stephen Speed know where I'm at with this one. Ah, it's time to redevelop OTR. It's time to put some money into OTR. Make it family oriented. And for those that don't know, downtown OTR, it's all the same. It's all the same. If you grew up in Law Homes, Lincoln Courts, Richmond Village, and all that old shit, it's not quite OTR, but it's all the same, because we all migrated around those same playgrounds, and we would play basketball and do all that old stuff all in those neighborhoods. They never put a park with a walking trail and a dog park and pooper scoopers and none of that shit in there. They never done all of that. But now the area is being redeveloped. You got FC Cincinnati down there, the TQL Stadium down in that area, and all of that. Beautiful thing. You go, city of Cincinnati. I'm proud of you. It's a great development. This is not me dissing it. It's just a little bit late. You done moved all of us out of there, and now it's time to make it a beautiful, oriented place to be. And we're gonna put a little bit of what do they call that? Subsidized housing, affordable rent housing. We're gonna do all that just to justify the spend. I love it. I love it when a plan comes together. Bike park, racket. What's that? What do they call that new one that look like tennis? What do they call that new little sport that they have that old people can now play when you out of shape and shit, and you out there thinking you can play tennis? What do they call that shit? I'm sorry, I forgot. Somebody put it in the screen. I'm not going to be able to say another word until I know what that is called. I'm that guy. I cannot go on unless I hear it. What do they call that? You know, with the paddle and it's like tennis, and two old people can play. My wife and I can compete against another group that's as old as us. What is that called? Somebody put it in the screen. Somebody put it in there. Pickleball. Thank you, Stephen Speed. They got to put pickleball down up in there, all that old shit. You really think they had that in mind a few years ago? Brand new basketball courts. It's gonna be beautiful. Pickleball. Thank you, John Ludd. Preston Smith says 3CDC is in like phase 3. It's development of down the way, I believe. Probably so. Thank you, Sean D. Nuttall. Pickleball. Thank you, guys. It's keeping you on your toes. Fame said pickleball. My sister Dominique said badminton. I don't even know what badminton is. Sounds familiar, but I can't place it in my mind what badminton is. Why am I getting cricket and badminton confused in my mind? I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna be a beautiful situation. I mean, they're not gonna. I'm just saying the justification is there. They're gonna put subsidized housing and all that old stuff in there. You know, that's just what it is. It's gonna be beautiful. and I give it about 10 years, and it'll be right around all everything, the FC Cincinnati Stadium and all that stuff will be lit up, all your hotels. It'll be the new conversion. If you ever go to certain cities, like I love going to urban cities that are no longer urban the way I grew up. Like I love going to places like Baltimore, where they push certain things to a certain area, and then the brick buildings and all the urban areas and things of that nature are now. Hey, can y'all see me? Why is my screen stuck on the? I'll make sure you is there something in front of me on the screen? Because my monitor is showing that I have something in front of me. Is it just me? Am I messed up on my monitor? Messed up. Okay, I think my monitor was messed up. I rebooted my monitor. Okay, I think I'm good. Am I good? Can somebody give me a thumbs up if I'm good? Hit the like sign if I'm good. I'll con you out of it that way. Um, but yeah, I like to go to cities like Baltimore, and I love old constructed buildings that have been refurbished, and I love to see the outside be sprayed and redone, and then you go inside and it's brand new, or I should say redone, rescalped, hardwood floors. I love brick wall. I love stuff like that. And OTR is that. You feel me? It's that. A gold mine. It's been a gold mine. Been a gold mine for years. I'm just curious. And I believe Cincinnati is on the path of being a district. You guys know what I'm saying? A district where you have live entertainment. I mean, it's like some other up and coming cities. I'm proud of my city. I just wish that we had a little bit more of a part of the development. But it's not our fault. It's just that, that's not what we weren't part of the plan. Okay, we weren't part of the plan of that. The original people there. But I know what a district looked like. If you ever go to Baltimore, you could go to I don't know, where else? Where else could you could go to Seattle? These places have districts. They don't have city. I guess you could call it city, but they have districts. It's a beautiful place. You can go there, you can go have a nice live dinner with entertainment inside the dinner hall. And at that same night, ride right over to walk across the skywalk, which they'll probably be putting all that back in, and go right over to the FC Cincinnati Stadium and watch the game. Beautiful. I see a district hitting Cincinnati sooner than later. I was watching in the YouTube, I'm sorry, on our Wyatt Live Messenger group. Somebody sent a video in there. I don't know who it was. I don't remember. It's been a few days. Um, Yeah, Sierra Brooks. For some odd reason, let me tell you guys what's going on. I don't know what's going on with the chat. I don't know what's going on. Let me try to do something. Let me try to reboot this. I don't know what's going on, guys. I apologize, but the chat is not showing up on my screen. It's showing up on my small monitor, but it's not showing up on my screen. So I'm not quite sure what chat you're able to read, where it's going and all that. Maybe I should boot out and come right back in. Maybe it'll catch up the chat. Sierra said Seaport District here in Boston. Yeah. Yeah, Boston's probably one of those areas. It has a long traditional downtown historic area. You know what I'm talking about, Sierra, when I say they're turning them into districts. Beautiful thing. I travel a lot and I've been noticing that a lot of places are starting to convert over. Okay. And it's a beautiful thing. I think Cincinnati's on the verge of that. I really do. And I can hear the talk now because I'm from there. So I'm the area, where they're doing all this new construction. I'm from all of that. And all I can do every time I see it is just shake my head and I just be like, damn, this was us. We could have done all of this at one point because um, we held it. We held it down. This is us. This is what we had. You know, grandmas had houses down on York Street. This was our district. This was us. This was supposed to be, we could have done this district. We could have done it. And you know, it doesn't bother me, but I do think about it. Hold on, let me don't go anywhere. I'm just gonna back out and come right back in and see if I can reboot the chat, because the chat is not coming up, and that's bothering me. Give me 1 second. I'm not gone. I'll be all right, let's give this a shot. Excuse me. Let's give this a shot. Let's see if I can get the chat back up. I apologize. Sometimes you got to boot in and boot out. I don't know what's going on, but if it doesn't work, then I'll just continue to go on. If if I run into an issue, just let me know that you can't hear me or you can't see me or something, and I'll try to get it fixed. It looks like YouTube is coming over on my chat, but I don't know if I see. Can someone throw a thumbs up or something if you can hear me on Facebook? YouTube looks like it's coming through. Twitter looks like it's coming through. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's working and what's not, to be honest with you. I tell you what I'll do. I'll say something about this. I was watching in Wyatt Live Messenger group a day or two ago, and I seen something that I thought at first was kind of weird. And it was a lady in a hospital bed. I can't understand for the life of me. Thank you, Sean D. Nutter on Facebook. I can't understand for the life of me how this lady, and I don't know this woman, so I'm not judging. I just don't know if I would be in the same spirit. She's a beautiful woman, young lady, and she's planning. Okay, see, here's the thing. I can see the comments on my monitor, but I can't see it on my screen here in front of me. There's two monitors. I'm sorry. I see it on my phone, so I'm assuming everything I see on my phone, you guys are looking at. Okay, but my monitor in front of me, I'm not seeing any of those same comments. So I'm just gonna go on. I think Facebook I can see on my phone. YouTubers, I think that's the only thing that's showing on the main screen here. Sorry, I'm going through all of this, guys. I just like things to be right. Okay, Alethea says she had aggressive cancer. God bless her. Okay, let me explain what I seen that I wasn't sure. She had breast cancer, Alethea. Okay, I'm gonna play this video. I've never in my life, look, this young lady is much stronger than I think I could ever be. And thank you, Mama Bert. She's testing. Let me see if I can find this video first, and then I'll get back on there. This young lady is in her hospital bed, full of energy. Don't even look sick, not acting sick at all. But she's in her bed talking to her friends and her family, friends and family, and she's planning her own funeral. I mean, I don't know if I could do that. I think I could maybe my shit wouldn't be this. I don't know if I would be that popped. That I don't think I could do it the way she did it. That's called strength. Unbelievable brave young lady. She's planning with her friends and family all the way down to what we gonna wear that day. I want y'all, what y'all want to do. I want y'all to wear. I'm gonna let you watch the video. It's not very long. For me, at first I thought there was something wrong with it. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I read it wrong. At first, the first time I seen it, I'm like, oh my God, bro, no, what the hell is this? And then I start thinking about it because she doesn't sound like she's planning her funeral. She sounds like she's planning a wedding. Like she got bridesmaids and y'all gonna wear blue. And y'all come around here on this side of the, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna be right here. And I'm saying to myself, I don't know if I could do that. And some might be like, well, what's wrong with it, Wyatt? I would love to be able to know what's happening. I know my destiny. I know how much time I have. And then I want everything to be perfect and good. You know what I told my kids and my wife? I told them all. I said, hey, if something happens to me, just cremate me. Don't do all that old shit. I don't, no. Y'all don't have to even get dressed up. Just cremate me, man, and leave me, put me in a nice little thing like I did my mom and granny, and y'all just, y'all chill. Don't spend the money on all that old shit. I'm gone. You don't have to do that. That's how I was. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with just getting cremated and, hey, love me, in I don't need a mausoleum or no shit like that, but just love me in a container. Let me still be around, and y'all rub me every once in a while and say, hey, I don't need a big funeral or anything like that. Don't spend the money. And it's not about the money. I want to leave something for my family. I want to be more than a GoFundMe. But I just feel like in my personal space, who I am as a man, I just feel like, hey, it's okay. I don't need a big funeral. I don't need a big send off because them people on Wyatt Live, they ain't coming no way. Save the money on all them damn what do they call them things? They pass out the shit and talking about who I was and all that. They don't care. Don't buy no flowers and all that. They ain't coming to my funeral, baby. Just put me where I'm loved the most and put me on the damn mantle in the house. And every once in a while, you and the babies, y'all girls, rub me in some old shit. That's all. Let me show you this video of this young lady, man. I thought it was very powerful. Once I start watching it, it took me a couple times, 2 times to watch it. And I had to really think about it because I thought it was fake. You know what I'm saying? It's just like this young lady's energy is so different. But you know what? She's probably a woman of God. She's probably a young lady that has God in her heart, understands that she's going somewhere in a better place. She probably has a different reality of where she's going and what she's doing than most people. So she probably figures she's going home. And she's not afraid to do that. No. Check it out.
It ain't your phone. You want to control the phone too?
No.
Damn, we gonna let me leave.
So he black. Cause he ain't a black one.
We gonna. This bitch want to control the phone too.
No, I want the black. I want a black casket. And I want to wear pink.
Okay.
I want to wear pink, and I want the shit on top. I want it to be pink.
Or your flowers.
As far as y'all, I want y'all to wear black with the pink trimmings.
Yeah, like a big pink bowl and
I
all
want
that.
y'all to really be glam.
Pink gloves all the way up here.
Yes.
Oh, so you want Met Gala pink and black?
That'd be nice.
No, but at the end of the day,
I want y'all to
you know we talk about this, but that's just something that you have to
do. Yeah.
I just feel they don't never get to that point.
It is sad to say it's going to get to that point, but I want y'all to come around with Dee Dee to go over the book. I want glam to be glam. I want y'all on the truck or whatever.
Dressed in
I want it to be, I want y'all with the gloves, short gloves, long gloves.
Yeah, baby.
I want y'all with pants sets.
Yeah.
Or dresses.
Yeah.
Hey, my girl got them dressing. You think they about to perform. You think they about to go do a con. God bless her, man. I mean, that's strong to me. I mean, that's just something that makes me feel really good for her because she's at peace and she understands her next journey is probably going to be much better than anything we doing right here, down here and talking about and what we going through. But to be able to accept whatever's coming your way and to be able to bring people while you're in the right frame of mind and you're not down for the count and having a rough day, she's able to tell her family, this is what I want. I'm going to be there with you. I might not be able to do anything, but y'all can wear this and y'all can wear that. And this is, I want y'all to come around. don't know about y'all, but that's one of the dopest videos I've seen in many, many years. I'm sorry. I didn't get it at first. You know, sometimes you just don't get things when it first happened. Then you have to really think about it. You're talking to a dude that lost his mother recently. And, you know, my mom passed and I didn't have the opportunity. We didn't have those conversations. I didn't have the opportunity to talk to my mother about, well, when the day come, Rand, you know, this is what I want you to do. I did what I wanted to do. And I miss that about my mother. I wish I would have had that conversation. Well, Mom, what are you thinking? What do you want to do? Never had the conversation. I didn't have an opportunity to sit down. And I don't know how many of you all, but I would love to be able to rewind the clock and roll it back and say, hey, Mom, what you want me to do? What's your final wish? What do you want to do? This young lady right here, this is a powerful video. And I'm not trying to make it more than what it really is. I think it hit me because of the situation that I went through personally. And it is like you sometimes, you know, we take for granted the things that are in front of what we have. That's why I went so hard on my guy Justin earlier in the conversation today. Like, we take for granted the things, not everyone, the things that are in front of us that are our day to day, and we expect it to be there. And wow, you know, as much as people think they bother me, one of the things that keep people from really bothering me is the fact that I live my life like that. I don't become really bothered because I know that the things that I've been able to do in life are all privilege. I know that sounds crazy. Sometimes I'll be searching and looking. If I was able to roll back the clock on a whole lot of things in life, I wouldn't change much about my life. I don't know about you, but there's few things that I would change. And one of them would be the situation with my mother. And this video right here really put me there. Because if you've ever lost anything, the first thing we do when we lose something is we think back of the good times we had. And we always say to ourselves, everybody says to themselves, well, I wish I had one more day with them. I wish I can get one more dance with them, or I wish I can play one more. For me and my mom, it was playing cards. We used to love to play tunk. We played tunk late at night. You know, we used to hang. My mother and I, that was not just my mother, that was my friend. We were only 14, we were 15 years apart. So, what up, Morgan Freeman? What's good, brother? Long time no talk to. So for me to see this video was very powerful because I love the fact that this young lady was allowed to be able to tell everyone around her, the people she loved, obviously, because she was having a good time. Like I said, it sounded more like a damn wedding plan than a funeral. You know what I'm saying? Can I play it again? Can I play it again? I want those that may have just jumped in to watch this, and I don't mind watching it again and again and one more time. I really don't. I just want everybody to see this is an individual that's dying of cancer, and if I'm not mistaken, like someone said, breast cancer, and it was a fast pace. I guess it was a level 4. What do they call it? Stage 4 cancer. So they kind of have an idea that she's not going to make it. And she's able to stand and talk to her stand up and talk to her family and arrange what she wants her funeral to look like. How many people could actually do that? I can't do that. I don't know if I would be. This is how simple I am as a man. Baby, just cremate me and bring me back home. I'm cool. I don't know if I need my brothers and all y'all to be wearing, let's put the DBs on today. Let's put the double breast on. Everybody wear brown. Everybody wear vet. I don't think I need all of that. I don't think I would even be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. Let me play this one more again, man. I just this is just crazy to me, and I love it. I love it. I love her attitude. I love how powerful, how positive she is. Check it out.
It ain't your phone. You want to control the phone too?
No.
Control everything.
So
Pink
you
and
want to
black.
speak? Because he ain't no black.
We gon' this bitch want to control the front too.
No, I want the
Let
black.
her do it.
I want a black
her own,
casket. I want to wear pink.
Okay.
I want to wear pink, and I want the shit on the top. I want it to be pink.
Oh, your flowers.
As far as y'all, I want y'all to wear black with the pink trimmings.
Yeah, like a big pink bowls
And
and
I
all
want
that
y'all to
stuff.
really be glam.
Pink gloves I wear
Yes,
here. Oh, so
yes.
you want Met Gala pink and black?
That would be nice.
No, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
Yeah, I want y'all to
you know
stand
we
up
talk about this, but that's just something that you have
To
to
do, yeah.
I just
Yeah,
feel
I'm
they
gonna
don't
put it in the
never
book.
get to that point.
It is sad to say it's going to get to that point, but I want y'all to come around with Dee to go over the book. I want glam to be glam. I want y'all own little truck or whatever.
Dressed in,
I want it to be, I want y'all with the gloves, short gloves, long gloves.
Yeah, baby.
I want y'all with pants sets or dresses.
Yeah.
Depends.
Powerful to me. Powerful to me. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do that. I don't think I'm that brave. I think I would be reluctant to talk about it. I guess I'm superstitious. I don't want to talk it up. But she's brave. She's brave. She's brave to sit there and tell him. And I'm sure she talked about some other things. I'm sure she spoke about some other stuff. I bet you she got her shit together. Pardon my language. I bet she got her business together. I bet you she know if she has babies. I know she know where them babies gonna be, who got them. I bet you them babies gonna be going in the right direction. She sound like a very responsible person to me. I think it's my favorite video so far in 2025, no doubt. Let me go to the phone lines, man. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
What's up, player?
Hey, what's going on, twin? How you doing today, brother?
Shall call it, ball it, let's go.
Huh? I didn't hear
I
you.
say, shall call it, ball it, let's go.
Okay. What does that mean?
What's beautiful day in the neighborhood, player?
Okay.
Feeling good, feeling
Oh,
good.
we got a good.
I can't complain.
We have a twin that's in a good positive space today.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful
Emmanuel and
thing.
stuff, yo. You know, your right hand man told me to be good today.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. You know, he gave me something positive in the chat. He said, "Twin, just be good today."
Okay.
Not just mess with you, baby. I
Okay.
seen him in the chat.
Well, I was really getting geeked up to hear something really positive and productive, and I was ready. I was
waiting for them jackets to come out, but y'all won't bring them back out.
What jackets?
That's what I was wondering. You know, them silky jackets y'all was
Oh.
them silky silks.
I tell you what I'm willing to do. I'll talk to Emmanuel Livingston. I'm willing to commit right here on the air that E and I do a show that we do a remote together. I'm willing to do that I know he's willing to do it. I'm willing to do it. We just need to get our plans. We just need to get the scheduling right. I think it'll be a good time. I think it'll be a good time to be able to do that.
I know Emmanuel ready, his buddy is Wyatt ready. You know, you go from state to state, city to city.
Oh, I just
and
work.
Everything.
How dare I do
it's just
that?
It's up to Wyatt. It ain't up to Emmanuel.
Yes,
Emmanuel
it is.
always ready.
No, Emmanuel has a schedule he has to keep as well. I'm ready to do it.
Man, he's in the basement, man.
What?
He's a basement man right now.
What are you talking about?
He got time.
You his agent? You know what he doing?
No, I'm sort of like his
I'm gonna
instructor.
I'm gonna have to get that. I'm gonna have to check with E on that. I'm gonna have to see if he's gonna have to confirm that. Yeah, I think you bullshitting me, but it's cool.
Hey, Wyatt,
it's all good.
Let me tell you something, man. That's a disturbing video. I feel sorry for the young lady.
Really?
But
you think it's disturbing?
Let me tell you something, because I hate this, man.
Okay.
And I had to, I'm a church going brother and everything. I had to forgive my auntie. Because let me tell you something, man. I had a sister. My mama died in 03.
Okay.
My sister died in 04. My sister suffered and she was on dialysis and everything from 89 to 04. My brother about to he was coming from Florida about my oldest brother that died 2 years ago. He was coming to donate his kidney.
Okay.
And when my sister's on her deathbed, man, you got them thirsty relatives. Hey, you got money and stuff. She got money saved up. Do you got insurance and all that? And my sister in and out on that little whatever anesthesia, whatever they hit them with.
Anesthesia. Okay.
Just yeah, when they seduce them, whatever. And so she ain't in her right, man. And she told my sister, and she's like, they was questioning about, do I have money, do I have insurance, and all that. And I'm like, my sister went off on that. Why are you telling her, asking her this, and she ain't in her right mind?
Okay.
But she had all of it, but quite. That's how.
So what? You were a little upset that somebody asked your sister if she had insurance?
It was my auntie then, but my bro was coming to donate his kidney to my sister.
Okay.
Give his kidney up for her. But they said go ahead with the procedure. And my sister got some God knows what kidney from somewhere. She did the surgery and then function right and didn't give us the okay to do the surgery. And that's what I hate about that situation, man. And that lady did that video. It's all right, but man, you should have been calling on the name of Jesus for healing. I'm not playing in nothing, White.
I feel you on that, but at the same
before
time,
anything, I'm calling on the name. I'm not playing it on nothing. And matter of fact, I buried my daughter, man, which I hate. I did it. Cost me damn near 8,000, White. I wasn't planning on my daughter dying and stuff. But you have no control on. Well, let me tell you something, man. God speaks to sinners, man. He speaks to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to be perfect and everything. I've been through, going to church, spoken tongues and everything. And I hear the word of God. But Wyatt, let me tell you something. September 16th, 2001, 5:03. Twin stomach was hurting so bad. So bad, Wyatt. I had to use the bathroom so bad. God said, let me speak to you for a minute. I need it. I'm on the toilet crying, boo, Lord, I can't. No. You can't help. God, please don't take it. But I had to, let him know, God, no, please, I need my daughter. Because I was so going in and out to the hospital, working and all that, going to the hospital every day. Why I didn't get no sleep, man. I was like a dolphin out here, man. Eyes bloodshot red, twin yard. No, I ain't nigga. Leave me alone. So back and forth with the managers and why this not done and all that. People on the outside, man, you cool? No, man, I'm not cool. But I'm gonna be okay. I'm not cool. I'm gonna be okay.
Okay.
Thanks for checking on me. I had to stay in a positive way. Twin could have crashed out, but I had to stay in a positive way. If it weren't for my lady and stuff and my kid and my sister, especially my twin brother, man, I'd lost my damn mind. Okay. And people didn't realize, but I had to stay positive. Cause man, I could have took it out on anybody. Man, the way you talking to me, Johnny, and what I'm going through back in children, and you want to talk crazy to me? No, don't do that, player.
You talking about at work, twin? You were at work? You were at work with
yes,
us?
I was at work. I was out on the streets or whatever, doing whatever, man. You say something foul to me, man, I'm ready to check your ass.
Well,
I had to pose myself, man. Man, Wyatt, let me tell you something, man. Okay. Real talk.
All right.
I had my 38, man.
Oh,
nigga said something reckless to me. Nigga, man, I'll pull that nigga on the side. Nigga, I'll blow your motherfucking head off. The way twin. I'm going through, and you want to talk wreck to me?
Twin.
But I had to hold on, Wyatt. I had to pause for a minute and realize you either want to go to jail or go home, twin.
Right.
It's not about that. Get yourself together, man.
Yeah.
It was you other side of the Angel Eugene talk. Get yourself together. You ain't got to do that. We all go things. I said, damn. I had to realize I had a baby that was fighting for her life.
Yeah. Twin, let me just say this. Let me just say this, bro, for educational purpose to other people. Okay, because your situation is already done and over with. Just for the PSA. I know exactly how you feel and what you're talking about because I went through that with my grandmother. But let me just say something to you about timing. Bro, when tragedies are happening, sometimes we just need to be alone. You understand what I mean? We need to be by ourselves, especially people that might not be able to, that might react or overreact to certain things. Like Twin, for instance, when you said your aunt was reaching out to you or her about insurance, bro,
No. Why?
Okay.
No. They gang banging. Why? They bombing. My sister on the anesthesia.
Okay.
Why would you ask a person about their insurance or money, anything, when you ain't in your right mind?
Okay.
Some thirsty shit.
Okay. It may be. Maybe it's what you say, but now let me give you a different scenario just in case no one ever.
Right, ain't no way around about it. Stop playing, man. You know you got some thirsty ass family members to do something like that, player.
You do,
Come
Twin.
on.
But we also have a lot of people who end up dying and information is not relayed to the family. So we end up doing a bunch of GoFundMes and don't have the information that might be needed to be able to handle their burial and their funeral arrangements. So maybe, and I'm just saying, okay, just give me a minute to just say, because maybe somebody's going through exactly what you went through, and they may be thinking exactly the way you're thinking, but their family members may not be thirst traps. They might just be under the impression that they trying to get some money and understand the position and this and this and this and that. Maybe it's the responsible family member who went through this before and ended up doing a GoFundMe for their family member because there was no money and no information about insurance. And maybe there was policy somewhere. Because keep in mind, Twin, an insurance policy is no good to anyone unless they're the beneficiary. You understand? So if my name is not on that paperwork as being the recipient of her insurance policy, what good is it to me?
Man, we all had that established already, why? We knew what was going to take place in case something like this happened.
Okay.
Come on with that fugazi shit,
That's
man.
not fugazi, bro. That's a real valid point. And maybe you didn't even explain, we had everything worked out, everything. Well, you didn't lay that out.
We already had that a plan. Her stuff was up to date, her policy and all that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Beneficiary was son and all that, but you don't come to nobody, man. Do y'all got money? Do she got insurance? No, you don't come. We already got that established. Y'all being nosy.
Well, okay.
Y'all, you got people like that, Wyatt.
All right.
You got people like that.
Oh, you do.
And you got some, man.
Twin,
it's so much, man.
Twin, I'm sorry, brother. I just got.
I understand. I understand what you're talking about. I understand you a lot.
Twin, it's more than you and I on this phone line. I mean, there's people listening, and I'm not talking to you because I understand the situation that you may have been facing. I'm trying to lay out maybe someone else is going through the same thing. They might be on the same page as you. And I'm just trying to give some people some other way of insight, just give some insight of maybe, because here's what I know. I know that I've been part of me personally. I've been part of a lot of guys that have passed away out here. Not necessarily family members, but friends. And I didn't know anything about their personal finances. I didn't know anything about it. But I always donated to their GoFundMes because either they didn't have insurance or they didn't have money set aside for a burial, whether they seen it coming or going or didn't know it was going to happen. All I'm saying to you is, I think it's a legitimate question to ask anybody about the insurance. And the reason why I say that is because, like I mentioned before, an insurance policy is no good to anyone unless they're the beneficiary. Yeah. So you see what I'm saying? So if my name ain't on it, how do I benefit from it? But if my name is on an insurance policy, chances are I'm going to be responsible for funeral arrangements and making sure everything is good in this person's life. After they've passed, making sure things, to celebrate their life and do whatever their wishes were. There's a reason why I'm on the paperwork of the insurance policy. So I'm not saying that family member wasn't thirsty and all of that. I don't know how that whole thing was set up. But for everyone else out here, man, I've done a few donations myself to some GoFundMes because there was no paperwork in place, and the family scraping and scrapping and $2,000-$3,000 to do a funeral and stuff like that, man. And people just didn't have the money, and that's been in more than one occasion.
That's true, because somebody 2 weeks ago passed away from got killed and set up a GoFundMe. It was unexpected. She wasn't expecting her son was gonna get killed, but it happened.
Yeah, it happens.
Or whatever. So
it happens.
They would set up a GoFundMe.
Yeah, it happens,
or
bro.
whatever.
Now, let me
Yeah.
ask you, would you be able to plan your own funeral, or did you say that no, you can't do
You
that?
already said it.
Okay.
I told my sister I got a ugly policy, and it goes to my kids and my sister and brothers. And I said, hey, because I paid damn near 9,000 for my daughter's funeral, man, and everything. And I said, man, I wish I would have cremated. But the last funeral we dealt with was my brother, and we said we cremating his ass and whatever. And I wish I would have cremated my daughter because that's cost. That 9,000, I had to pull it out, my savings and every other thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, man. And it was hard scrambling for a damn casket for my baby because they didn't have us side. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it
I
was
mean,
hard and man.
that is a
And I wish
business.
I would have. I wish I would have just cremated it, man.
Yeah.
Wyatt, to save me a lot of money. But
Yeah.
I didn't know 7, 8,000. Whoa,
I think
man! I didn't know.
I think someone in the chat, I don't remember who it was. It's been a while. They said it, but I believe that the funeral. Look, my cousin Angie, love her to death. Our mom, which her mother is my aunt. Well, she passed the same week as my mother, and she did a funeral. She lives in South Carolina, so she did a funeral for my aunt Stell in the city of Cincinnati up there, and everybody was there. And my situation hadn't been settled yet with my mom, and my cousin Angie asked me, "Do you want to do the services together?" And I was like, "Well, no, not really, because this is Aunt Stell's thing. This is going to be her friends and family, all of our families together, but her friends, I don't want to intrude." And my cousin, who I love to death, offered everything, like we can do it together, blah, 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 blah. We're a very close-knit family. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to intrude in my aunt's space. And it was a great gesture, but I didn't want to do that. And long story short, she said to me, she said, Rand, I wouldn't even, she called me Rand, so we go, this is my family. She said, Rand, I wouldn't even do this. This funeral is not for me. This is for everybody else. And I thought about it, and I became unbelievably selfish in life. When it was time for me to do my mom, which was like a week later, I went out to Phoenix, handled a business in Phoenix, Arizona, did what I needed to do. And my mom traveled a lot. Okay. We did I'm sorry. Hold on one second. Sorry about that, guys. That's my daughter. She's traveling. We travel a lot, and okay, sorry about that, guys. And I just didn't want to. I thought about what my cousin said, and she said,
Was your cousin was a funeral director?
No, she's not a funeral director by no means. But she just said to me, like my mom has friends all over the country because we traveled a lot. And I'm saying to myself, I am not in a position, I am not in the piece of my mind is not in a place where I'm trying to put all this invitation out to a funeral and do all this old stuff. I can't do all of that. All right. And I had no strength to do any of that. So I was very selfish, and I just kind of sent out information about my mom passed to her friends and people like that, and of course our family. And that was it. I didn't do a service or anything because I remember my cousin telling me, and I know some people gonna probably be hating and saying, how could you do that? And blah, blah, blah. But I know my mother, and I know my mom probably didn't want all of that. We didn't have that conversation. That's kind of hurt me a little bit that we never had that conversation. But I think my mom and I are in the same space. I don't want a funeral. I don't want a bunch of people walking around me and seeing my dead body, or I don't even want a bunch. Listen, you know how many funerals I've been to, bro? And I walked in there and I didn't ran into some people that talk shit about the person that's in that casket dead, talk bad about them right around me. You ain't never lying. Right around me, bro. Like, and now here I am looking at some dudes. Like, I ain't gonna say no name, but the last funeral I went to, I went through that situation, and I'm looking at people that used to talk so bad about this man, and here y'all are in here fronting and shit like y'all was the best of friends.
Wyatt, do you see the new generation though, man? They exposing their ass. Like my mama, did you see on YouTube, man, on Facebook? They going live with it, man.
Yeah.
They out there like,
yeah.
my mama didn't like you. She didn't like you.
Oh, okay,
Fuck
yeah, that
you.
part.
Fuck you. Man, I seen about 3 or 4 posts. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's going too far. That's going too far. But yeah,
man,
you're
they
right.
putting it out there though. But I mean, they keeping it real. Cause they like, hey,
that's too real.
only time we come together and stuff at a funeral. That's the only time we, as a family, we go. We used to do every Sunday right after church, family day, and cousins come over and all that. Now we don't get that. Why we get it at a funeral or probably a 1 year family reunion picnic?
Yeah.
Other than that, we ain't chopping it up like, hey, cuz, what up, what up, what up? Unless you really close to your cuz like that. With some of them I am, but other than that, hey, cuz I miss you and stuff, love you and stuff. We need to do this more. Now, what? Come on, you ain't never met you the same nigga and stole them stacks from me. I put you on.
Yeah.
And that thing, now you cool with me at the front. No, go on, head on. Move on. I'm that type of guy. I forgive, but I don't forget, man.
Okay.
It is what it is, though. But man, she went out with a bang, though. I can't say that. That lady that you just spoke, she went out with a bang.
Yeah, I mean, I think that she did it the way she wanted to do it, and that's what I'm proud of. I think that it took strength. I thought she was very
Just
brave.
throw my ashes in Lakefront, man, in Chicago. That's what I told my sister now. Don't bury me.
Well, you wouldn't be down there by yourself, bro. All them bodies in that body.
Throw my ashes in. Why you bogus?
There's a few bodies down in that river in Chicago, my friend.
Yeah, throw my ashes up in there. And then they could go to cheap way, man, because these funerals, man, they wrecking, man. 2, 3 in the morning, they doing advertising on TV. Do you like your body cremated? Do you want to come to such and such funeral? We do the job. Man, come on, man.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. I don't know. What else on the menu, Wyatt?
That's it, brother. I don't really have anything. I got to get out of here in a second, man, because it's a short day. I got some people here at the house cleaning and doing some things.
You was talking about peanut butter and jelly time, Wayne.
That's my thing. I love peanut butter and jelly, bro.
Yeah.
Is it just me? Am I the only one? I mean, I know that everybody then leveled up in their life and they think they can have steak for lunch and shit like that. I don't really move like that. I'm a real basic individual. I love the things I grew up
sorry to cut you off. No, hey, you doing a promotion? I saw it earlier and stuff. Your promotion from here, Chicago, Cincinnati, all that.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you about it, twin. I got something going on in Chicago this summer, and
I saw that. I said, "Oh, you coming on up like the Joneses, huh?"
Okay. I mean, I've been doing it.
I was like, that's nice and stuff.
Yeah, I've been doing that. But yeah, this summer we're coming back with New Era Boxing Champs, and Cincinnati's on the list. Chicago's on the list, and St. Pete, where I am now, that's on the list.
So a lot of boxing be coming here or whatever to Cincinnati. All over.
Yeah, Cincinnati is on the schedule. I'll get into the dates here soon. I don't want to disclose the dates.
It's just boxing or any other promotion.
What I posted was more boxing. That's okay. What we're looking at in this, on that particular promotional.
Hey, did you look up? Did you go back and look up dude his situation?
No.
Him killing the twins and everything.
From yesterday, no, I haven't had time yet, to be honest.
What about autistic look dude?
No, I thought that's the one you were talking about.
Well, both of them now, because I've seen him, man, on the autistic situation. He's 17. He was drunk, intoxicated, whatever they say the case may be.
Okay.
But the way they was moving in on him, you got a fence about 4 feet or whatever. And he's probably 5'5", 5'7". And why you just didn't tase him and everything? My sister, you had a chance all day, step back a couple of feet, tase. You didn't have to, he charged y'all, but he over the fence. His drunk ass got to climb over the fence to come charge at y'all like that. Y'all can back up. Hold on, man. Pepper sprayed him or something like that, but to gun the man down like that's wrong, man. That's wrong. They should be charged with something like that. If you look at the video, Wyatt, you be like, yeah, that's not justifiable and stuff. They should have handled that situation in a different perspective, man. The way, even though he had the little knife, whatever he had in his hand, he was autistic, whatever. And I know the 911 call hey, there's a guy out here, he's, acting all crazy and he got a thing, but he got a fence. If you look at the video, you be like, nah, I would have tased it as a handle some type of situation, other situation, the way it look at it. I want you to look at it. Why? And you be like, yeah, I just would have tased it, little ass. Because you got a machete, whatever he had in his hand. No, you ain't about to hit me with this knife. I'm going to tase your little ass. If that don't work, I'm going to do something. I ain't have to shoot the man like that. But you have to really go over and look at the video and see it
No, I understand.
for
Yeah, I have to
yourself,
check
man.
that out. I have to check
All
that
right,
out.
that's all I gotta say, player.
All right.
Keep it gangster and that thing.
All right,
I'm gonna
brother. I
keep
appreciate you.
listening, whatever. I
Appreciate you
still don't
engaging.
like you light skinned brother,
Oh
but it
man.
is.
So,
Black in effect.
I'm
All right,
sorry. You
what?
got to deal with us. We're here.
I know.
All
Ain't
right, man.
going nowhere.
Ain't going nowhere. All right, brother. Appreciate you engaging with us.
Yep.
All right, bro. We got away with one. Twin didn't hit the ceiling. Wasn't a rocket ship to wherever he liked to go. I appreciate it, Twin. Thanks for coming in. He almost got there though when he's talking about the relative. I guess the thirst trap relative about the money, and I just don't. I guess Twin wasn't even trying to hear me an explanation of why he forgot he never mentioned to us that they had everything together already. I mean, he didn't mention to us that part. Like, no, we got everything together and we ready to go. And the casket is paid for, the tombstone, everything's paid for. We ready to go. He just said that the thirsty relative was calling about the money and asking about, I'm not calling, but asking about insurance. Twin, I'm sorry, bro. Now that I can say this without being interrupted, I don't know how bad it is for a family member to ask about insurance. And here's why I say that, bro. Because if that person has to ask if this person has insurance, chances are they're not going to be on the paperwork. They're not going to be a beneficiary of that person's, because they would probably know that that your family member had insurance or not. You know what I mean? That means they were somewhat close, maybe just a little close if they're the beneficiary of the insurance policy. So when you get somebody that asks that question, they probably asking, and this is a pure assumption, they're probably asking that question only because of the concerns they may have of the funeral arrangements. That would be how I would see it. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the way I would see it. So I understand emotional people, like Twin was saying that when he was going through the situation with his daughter passing and things of that nature, he had said that that everybody was getting on his nerve. I'm gonna put it in my words, okay? Because I can't say everything that he said, but everybody was getting on his nerve, and he was becoming irritated to everything. And there's just certain times and certain spaces you need to be alone. And Twin didn't need a 38 at that time. All right, you heard what he said. He was like, "No, I got my gun. I'll shoot you." Bro, you didn't need a gun around that time in your life. I don't know if you needed a gun at any time in your life, to be honest with you. But specifically in this emotional space, you did not need a weapon. You didn't need a gun, because if you were probably easily triggered. And I'm not saying you didn't have a right or didn't have, like, the death of a child ain't enough to be able to lose your emotional strength. I'm not suggesting that at all, Twin, so don't get it twisted. I'm just saying, let me give you a perfect example. I told you I went through that with my grandmother. I promise you it's very short. My grandmother died in her home of cancer in her own bed. Kind of like the way I wanted my grandmother to kind of go. I don't want her to die in a cold hospital. I didn't want her to pass out outside somewhere. I didn't want her to be somewhere that wasn't comfortable. I didn't want her to be in an area that she wasn't familiar with. So my grandmother actually passed away because she had been in the bed for damn near 2 weeks, bedridden, becoming weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. Y'all already know how cancer patients are. Once they stop eating, it's pretty much you're on countdown. And bro, I would get phone calls because my mom lived in the house with her, taking care of her. I would get phone calls from my mom. Rand, you might want to get here. I think this might be it. And I lived 30 minutes away. At that time, I lived 30 minutes away from my grandmother's home. And I would probably get there in 10 minutes. I would run red lights. I didn't care what was going on. I knew where I was cognizant. I knew what was going on, but I didn't stop at a light. I would go through it just to make sure I was clear. I would go through lights. I would pass people on the expressway. I was racing to get to my grandmother. And you know what I noticed? This is why I don't get angry when I see people doing dumb shit out on the street, driving crazy, running lights, or doing certain things. I don't know where they are in their mind. I don't know where they are. I don't know where their headspace is. They might be going to see their grandmother because they got that call. So I would get to her in 10, 15 minutes, literally 15 minutes, I would get there. And there was a couple times, only 2, that we weren't at that time yet. By the grace of God, when I got there, she was still good to go, becoming weaker and weaker. But that third one, she was gone and stayed at the house. She was gone. That same aunt that I was telling you about that had her funeral the same week, or died the same week of my mother, her closest sister, stayed at the house with us, and my grandmother was in her bedroom, and we all had an opportunity to go in that bedroom and spend some time with my grandmother, who was in her bed, and she was gone. So my point of bringing that up is, twin, I don't know what I would have done if somebody would have acted fool on my way racing to see my grandmother. I don't know if I was in the right frame of mind. I don't know what was going on. I could see what was happening, but I wasn't there. And if somebody would have stopped me or called me a name or something, I probably would have kept on going, but I probably would have done something foolish. I probably would have, I would have done something that might have hurt myself. I may not have hurt them. I might have hurt myself. My point is this, twin, you had a 38. Everybody was getting on your nerve. And what I'm saying to you is, when we get in these emotional spaces like that, sometimes it's best to call off work. Sometimes we just don't need to be around people because we're going to make a mistake. We're going to do something that's going to probably fragile our freedom or, relationships. Something's going to happen. So we got to be careful. We got to be careful when we get in these emotional states. Let me go to the phone lines before I get out of here. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with? Hello.
They stay doing that. They can get it.
Hello.
They called them early this morning too.
Oh, that sounds like
have a meeting with them. You going to that one?
Yeah. So I got the
application over.
Sounds like CK.
Hello.
Yeah, CK, you there?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's happening, man? You good, or you want to call back?
No, I'm good. What happened, man? How long I was on that with you?
Just a couple seconds. We heard all your business and shit, man. You sure, man? Unleash that girl, man. It sounds like you kidnapping somebody over there, bro. Right here, live on the air.
Man.
Just playing.
No, my bad. What's up? Yeah. No, you said we don't need a gun at no time in our lives.
Yeah, you at home, man? Or
No.
work?
I'm in the streets, man. What's up?
You in the streets? It sounded like you was at a pony keg or something.
Oh, my bad. Damn.
Yeah, it sounded like you was in a store, like a pony keg or something, bro.
Yeah, I had got thrown off, man, in the middle of the call.
Okay.
I had got thrown, because you said you was about to leave, man. What the hell was going on? You said you had to go handle some business.
Yeah, I do. What's going on, though, man? What's happening? What's on your mind? Tell us. Talk to us. Don't be worried about me. I'm concerned about what's going on with you. What's happening?
I'm just making sure everything go good. I went to J Gumbo's last night, man.
J Gumbo's? J Gumbo? Or what'd you call it? Never had it?
You ain't never been there?
No, where is that at and what is it?
Oh, it's a little gumbo shop right there on Ludlow at Clifton.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But,
I don't eat gumbo, but no, I never heard of that place. It's in Clifton?
yeah, they decent, man. They decent, but they're all right. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Right there in Clifton. Right there in the Skyline parking lot. You know what Skyline is?
Yeah.
On Ludlow and Clifton.
Yeah.
Yeah, right next door.
Okay. I have to try that sometime. I don't really eat gumbo, but okay, I might try something they got in there. I'm sure they got other things.
Yeah, man. I was just trying to check in. You know, hey, man, like I said, man, they done hit me with my mind fucked up now, but you know, it's still love to the platform.
Well,
You know
I
what I'm saying? I
appreciate
still
it, bro.
support what you're doing out here.
I
You
appreciate you,
feel me?
man. I really do. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Keep getting that, you know what I'm saying, that knowledge to your people. You know what I mean?
I'm
That's
trying, brother.
all
I
I can say.
appreciate it. I appreciate it, bro. Trust me, I'm trying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All
Thank you, brother.
all
Taking my
right, brother.
call,
I
man.
appreciate you engaging with us, CK.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think CK found him one, and he ain't had time for us. I know I heard him in like a pony keg store, and I think he up on one. I think he done found him one, y'all. I think he pursuing happiness, and I think he was just he lost his touch. He lost what he was trying to talk about. I think he's probably running down the street right now trying to catch up with the PYT. Pretty young thing. That's just my guess. Because I kind of overheard him saying, well, what you doing, girl? Shit. Y'all know that's the famous line of, I'm looking at you. I really don't know what to say, but I'm trying to link. And he was like, girl, I don't know, girl, what you doing? I know his head is looking down and he's talking to her. Girl, shit, girl, what you doing? That let me know right there. He's pursuing. He's being an alpha man. You know, alpha men pursue. They hunt. My guess is that CK is an alpha. I think he's a hunter. Okay? I think he's a hunter. I can tell by the conversation. I think Twin, I don't know his relationships. I'm just going by some of the people that call. And when it comes down to the female, because those are the two guys that call and primarily talk about relationships and girls and women, excuse me. And I think that CK and Twin are probably alpha men when it comes down to pursuing women. I think they are alphas. They're hunters. I think I don't want to say kill they prey, but I think if it's too easy, they don't. I don't know. I don't want to say that either. I think they enjoy the hunt. I think they enjoy the hunt. That all being said, I thought CK was going to come in and give us a funeral story. I thought he was going to come in and tell me if he would want to do his own, if he could plan his own funeral or not. I know that I couldn't. I couldn't even do my mother's, let alone my own. Very strong little young lady that did that on her deathbed. I just think that I am definitely going to save that video. It is iconic to me because I just thought the young lady was very brave. I thought that she was. I think it was the fact that she wasn't afraid of the next step, the next thing in life, and I just think that's amazing. So that it is what it is. I don't know. I think I'm done for the day, guys. What time is it? Ooh, it's. I really only had an hour. Let's see here. There was something else. I didn't write it down. There was something else that I wanted to bring up. Oh, yesterday I had a conversation about let me think, because there was like 2 or 3 points that I wanted to talk about, but I'm going to see which one I can get in the quickest, the fastest. Yesterday I was talking about something about the court system. I want to clear something up about child support court. All right. It's like anything else, like most things in life that have different people involved, different characters, different personalities. That all bring different situations. We might be talking about the same court system. We might be talking about the same address, the same building. But I really personally believe that each one of these cases is a case-by-case basis. I think that who you are as a man and how you approach to how you see your kids is different in many ways, different cases. I don't think, okay, like for instance, Emmanuel was talking about his situation in his child support hearing. All right. Emmanuel has to understand that everyone, okay, the people that I was describing was from my situation, not Emmanuel's situation, not Twin's situation. Who else was involved in those? Not Alethea's situation. My breakdown of the child support and getting custody or part-time custody of your kid and all that came from my experience. Not only my experience personally, not because I pursued child support or child support was pursuing me. Not that. It was the other way around. My father. I brought my situation from me being a child. And here's what I would challenge. And this isn't a challenge to it's to Emmanuel. It's a challenge to his way of what he was describing. For me to sit back and say that good guys don't get taken through the ringer of child support would be totally foolish of me, because I know for a fact that, some guys get done wrong down there, just like in regular court. All right. It's a court system. They don't play fair. And every situation is not the same. Same, thing with the child being involved and the parents that are not together might all be the same. But instances and cases and circumstances all are different. And I need y'all to understand that what I was describing was the majority of the things that I've witnessed and seen. I'm going to tell y'all right now, and I don't care who disagree or agree with me on this point here. I promise you, I'll stand on this. I'll take a survey of the women right here on this show. The majority of men who are not in their child's life is by choice by that man. Not the good guys like Emmanuel, who went down there trying to who's paying child support through this court, and a court order's been set by a magistrate that he gets visitation and all of that. I'm not talking about those guys. That's a low percentile. Okay, disagree with me if you want. Emmanuel Livingston, in that situation, you're a small percentage of the guys that happened to. I can name 5 of my friends that grew up with me, and I can tell you right now, none of their daddies, including mine, were pursuing visitation. But I'm not suggesting that the visitation thing, that don't happen, like you get played. No, but I will stand on this right now. Majority of dudes, this don't count for those that are putting the work in, going down there, paying child support and trying to get visitation, and you've been done wrong. This don't count for you. But I'm telling you, the majority of dudes who have no involvement in their kid's life, it's not because of the woman. It's not because child support is doing one thing and the custody court is doing another thing. That ain't where we from. That ain't the problem. Anybody want to dispute that? Anybody want to debate me on that? Because look, of course there's some guys paying child support. Of course there's some guys that's going through the custody thing. The mama won't. Okay, my day is to come get him on Saturday. And she make it tough for me to get him on Saturday. She's just making it tough for me to get him on Saturday. Here's what I would say to that. Now, you got to understand, when you play these games with these women and when you get in these situations, you got to be prepared. Prepared means, in most cases, you got to be able to afford to go through these things that are necessary for you to win. In America, if you don't have any money, it's going to be hard to win at whatever you're trying to do. And that includes in court. You can't go... It's going to be hard for you to win a murder trial, which is probably one of the easiest case to beat, to be honest with you. You ain't going to win a murder trial with a public defender who I would find some kind of way to pay for me some good defense if I'm charged with murder, especially if I know I didn't do it. I'm not going into the courtroom with a public defender on a murder charge. I'm going to figure out a way to go in there with a paid attorney, because my life is on the line. So now, this is going to sound a little I don't know, some would call it elitist and all that old shit, but it's just what needs to happen. Fellas, there's a huge difference in walking into a courtroom, a custody court battle with a court-appointed attorney or somebody that you're getting from the state that's helping you, or are you going to civil, I don't know. You might just, I don't know. I don't know what you're walking in there with. You might go in there by yourself. But if you go in there with an attorney, let me just be honest and tell you, she missed the day and all that old stuff, that don't fly with them, because there's repercussions to them not living through a court order. Even though it's signed off with a magistrate, if that woman says, I agree to allow him to see the child once a week, once a weekend, they get one weekend, and she makes it difficult, and she's breaking the agreement that the court has signed off on. Yeah, I don't know what courtroom you've been in, but if you have the right representation, she is not in compliance to a court order and can be penalized for that. It's more to the get it right the next time. No, if you got the right representation on your side, she can be penalized for that. Okay, it ain't no. Now, if I'm in there arguing it and saying, hey, Your Honor, that weekend was my weekend, and she told me it was cool. I went over there and they went to Nebraska. Well, your attorney can file a junction. She's in trouble. Just like any other court order. So I don't understand. See, all the circumstances are different. I don't know who walked in with who. I don't know what kind of representation you had. I don't know. So I can't speak on it. But I don't believe that you can have a magistrate sign off on a court order. Someone does not live up to that court order and they're not held accountable. Maybe if you don't know what to say or know what to do, that will pass. But if I got an attorney that I didn't pay to keep my shit in order, I want to know why he or she is not doing the job of making sure my son is at my crib. I'm going to pick him up and he has to be there, or my daughter has to be there. If not, we're filing a junction. We're going to file a contempt of court. She is going to be held accountable for that. It ain't no, well, we'll get it right next time. It ain't none of that. That ain't how that shit work. Unless you have somebody that's just, I don't know what representation was there. So listen, I'm not pounding on anybody. I was speaking from my experience, and I know Fame called in and he said, well, if you ain't never been there, don't talk on it. You're right. I ain't never been there, but what's the difference between me knowing what court orders are? And here's what I was speaking on. I was speaking on where I've been. And what I was saying is the majority of the fathers that are not in their children's life, you're not in your child's life because you pay child support. Child support don't teach a kid nothing. All right? That's not I don't care how much you send into that mother. It don't represent manhood. It don't teach your son or your daughter what a man does. The part that a man provides in a kid's life, that stability, that confirmation of who he is, what he's supposed to do, how he's supposed to fish, how he's supposed to hit a baseball. Money don't teach him that. I was speaking from where I'm from and my friends, the people in my community. Majority, and I would stand on this to the day I die, the majority of the people in my community, they mamas wasn't fighting against visitation. Our daddies would be walking up and down the motherfucking street. Mama Birch, am I lying? We all knew where our daddies was. It wasn't no mystery. My daddy alive, he over there and blah, blah, blah. Somebody asked me the other day, like when I was talking about my father, they was like, I thought you said you ain't had no daddy. Y'all didn't grow up like we did. Your daddy could still live with his mama in your grandmama house down the street on York Street some damn fucking way. We know where our daddy is. He's just not in our life. Mama Birch, can you relate to that? You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you that the majority of people that are going down to the motherfucking child support, getting put on child support, they not fighting for custody of their child. They not fighting, and they not put in a position like Emmanuel Livingston was put in a position. I heard him say he did everything he was supposed to do, and when she got in there and lied, she was making it tough for you, bro. I get it. I ain't suggest you're a small percentile of fathers like that. That's not the majority of what, and you know why you got treated like that, bro? Let me be honest and tell you, because of the deadbeat motherfuckers that come through there like that. Unfortunately, child support is a system that feels like, I think they, and I know this is not going to set well with people. I don't think child support and the court system itself is customer friendly. I don't think that it's customer friendly because sometimes people are like, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Somebody that work in customer service at child support, collecting money. I bet you they run into more attitudes. I bet you they run into people as if that person who collecting the money is all in y'all relationship, and I ain't got no business down giving this money to y'all motherfuckers anyway, and blah, blah, blah. You got an attitude with the people that you signed up to. Child support didn't make you have a child with that individual, and they didn't make that young lady or make somebody come down here and put you on child support. They just an after the fact service. So let me just say this to my brother E. This is not, look, I know for a fact there's guys like him that got a raw deal. I understand. But you got to look at the 1,300 guys in front of you that's mixed into that same court system. And I know you're supposed to take these cases case by case, and you're not supposed to show any bias towards any particular situation, but it's kind of hard to do that. It's like drug court. Everybody come in with that same attitude. Everybody come in with that same thing. And these are not robots that you're sitting in front of. These are human beings. And unfortunately, they tend to get this little stubborn way of treating people, and they treat good people just like they treat bad people, and it's unfair. You ever got pulled over by the police and you was just doing a little bit over the speed limit, and as soon as the cop come to the car, he treats you like you just robbed the motherfucking bank, because chances are the person that he was just dealing with was an asshole, and he's taking it out on you. Happens a lot. And unfortunately, I don't want anybody to think what I was describing was the good guys. I'm talking about where I'm from and what we experienced as children. I got 5 best friends growing up. None of us had a father in the house. Everybody knew I can't say everybody. I know 3 of us. Yeah, 3 of us knew where our daddies was. We knew where our daddies was. He wasn't in our life. So I'm not talking about the guys that's trying to do it the right way. I wasn't talking about them. I was talking specifically, and I'll stand on this, and y'all just gonna have to be mad at me. For those that may not understand it the way we understand it. Some of us understand it, because you may not have experienced it. That's why I can't fight what y'all talking about, because I have not experienced your situation. But what I've seen in my life, and if you think about what's going on right now, if you look at it, hey, for every one guy who says he went down there, paid child support, tried to get some type of visitation and part-time custody and all that, for every one of you good guys, I can guarantee you there's 100 that's just the opposite of you. And that's what the court system see. Unfortunately, the good guys tend to get the wrath of what the bad people do. Kind of common in our society. Let me go to the phone lines before we get out of here. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
You are speaking with Sabrina Calloway.
Miss Calloway, how you doing today? I didn't want to mention your name, but
that's okay. A lot of people know that I'm right there on the front line
collecting that child support money. And I bet you sometimes you probably the worst person of their day, aren't you?
Well, let me tell you. Tuesday, I got cussed out by some guy just for asking him, could I help him?
Wait a minute. Why'd you have his baby? Why you all up in his business?
I mean, he walks up, and of course, you know, it's my job to greet someone and say, hi, can I help you? Are you here to make a payment? And he just literally, you just want some money. And so as he went on his rant, I remembered that every time this guy walks in, as soon as he sees me, he starts cussing at me. And so Tuesday was not really the day that I was ready to just, you know, accept that. So he just kept on and he just kept going. And he really didn't need to come make a payment. He needed to talk to somebody who was next to me.
Okay.
So somebody called him while he was standing there, and he starts going on with about me.
Okay.
Like, as soon as I walk up, this B, she asking me for some money. So I literally, you know, we got the Hamilton County Sheriff deputies right there.
Okay.
And they ears perked up when they saw he was over there near me, because I've already let them know I'm not the one for these clients.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
I'm not the one. By the time they get over there to him, he gonna be leaking if he come too close.
All right, now don't hurt nobody. Come on
so
now,
I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to, but I already let them know. So they come over really quick, you know.
Yeah.
But luckily they've got us behind, you know, barricades and everything now, because they had to move us to the first floor during the pandemic. So they've got us down there, and they've got barricades and everything up.
Okay.
But it's always on us. They always press it on us for what choices they made.
I hear you.
And we see it both ways. You know, same day, a woman walks in and asks how she can get her child support canceled.
Okay.
And we told her she had to go to the courts to file a motion to cancel it.
Okay.
And she said, and this just set me on fire when I heard her say this. She said, yeah, I just had the case set up in December, but, you know, I only did it because I got pissed off at him. But we back together now, so I want to close it out.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm like, why did she make us her pit bull? Because you can't handle your business with your man.
Right. And see, Sabrina, what I was trying to say in a subtle kind of way was that's a system down there that, just like the police department, sometimes certain people use them as a tool, and then y'all get tired of being used as a tool, and then when you wonder why people have an attitude when you come down there to do, you know, and y'all didn't recruit these folks. They kind of
and I've had to tell people that many times, like, we don't stand outside and wave our arms saying, hey, come in here and apply.
Right, exactly.
And if you're not getting any benefits through Hamilton County, you don't have to be in the child support system.
Right.
You can close that out.
And now, can I ask you something about that?
But if you're getting some type of benefits, you have to. You don't have a choice.
Can I ask you something about that, if you don't mind? Just let's
go
put a
ahead.
little bit of educational piece out here. We're having fun, but I'd like to say ask you something serious. In my own situation, as a kid, my mother was on. We were on subsidized housing because we were in Laura homes, but then we had also, I believe, I didn't know, but yes, I did know, we were on, I guess, food stamps. Okay. And my mother never went down to put my father on child support. At one point, they put him on child support automatically because he did sign the birth certificate, but she was on WIC and, you know, the programs of getting, you know, food stamps.
If she was receiving medical for you.
Okay. That'll do it.
Like choice care or whatever, it's mandatory.
Okay. Now you got to keep in mind, I'm a little older, so I don't know if all that stuff was in place back then, but I know there was programs in place that qualified her to get assistance. But my father, who was not in my life, was put on child support of $25 a month or a week or something. I don't remember. It was a week or something that it was something so dumb low that I was like, God, like really? And it was so low that
I've been around for almost 30 years now.
Okay.
I just had my 25-year anniversary with Hamilton County in February, and I was with another agency for 4 years prior. So I'm close to 30 into this business.
Okay.
And the laws.
That's just right around the time I was born.
So yeah, right. You and me both.
You probably know
I skipped elementary school and went straight to work for child support. I get it. I get it.
All right. So now let me ask you. Here's the real question. All right. When my father was put on child support, he never paid. Okay. But then my mom did not get assistance for a large period of time because she at work. But we still got subsidized housing. All right. So it was your I guess your affordable rent type of situation in the FAE. You know how the FAE was and stuff like that. So now, when I was a young man, I was probably like 22, 23. My father, my real father, ended up paying somewhere in the realms of about $4,000 out of his taxes. They confiscated his income tax check because welfare came and got it. And they said it was all back child support from me when I was a little boy. Now, my mother never filed anything on him or anything. And here's the thing. She never got any of that money that he had to back pay.
So that is because she probably received medical. She never received any cash for you.
Okay.
There may have been a medical order for him to pay, which when you said it was a low order, that's what they usually do. When you receive, like if she had medical insurance through the county, it's not free. A lot of people think they come and sign up for those benefits and stuff and it's free.
Right.
But no, they order somebody to pay for that.
Okay.
And if he did not pay it when you was a minor, there's no statute of limitations on child support arrearages or any arrears that is, to medical orders.
So it's a strong possibility that was medical that he was paying.
Right. He was ordered to probably pay medical.
Makes
so when he filed his taxes, anytime you owe more than $500 of arrearages in child support or anything that's on the child support system, whether it's medical, if there was cash assistance or if it was the money to the other person, it's automatically submitted for tax offset.
Okay. That makes sense.
And that's for federal tax offset. If it's more than $150 of arrearages, it's automatically submitted for state tax offset.
Okay.
So when he filed his taxes, it got seized for that because we're number 3 in the country for collections. It's IRS, student loans, and child support to get to any money.
Y'all monsters with it. Don't go.
Nobody is above us except them two. Child support
Did I tell a lie yesterday or the day before when I said if you win some money at the casino and your ass is back on child support, they coming to get that
That's
jackpot?
right. If you win more than $599 on a scratch off, we're gonna take that.
They in the system for the lottery too.
Anytime you have to turn in something to the lottery where you're gonna get, or like if you're in the casino and they have to come and pay you out. When you sign that thing and they put your social security number on it, it's going to take it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's going to take it.
Okay. Well, listen, the reason why I brought that up is because my man, Emmanuel Livingston, yesterday had an explanation, and I believe him. I believe that there's difficulties for some men in the system because
very much so. Yeah.
And there's no doubt about it. But now I got to ask a question. I put myself on the line and I'm standing on this. And here you are in that system for 30 years. My thing is who I was talking about. Do you understand who I was talking about when I made my point of it's the guys that don't, like most guys that are paying child support or listed on child support, they are not even trying to get custody of their kids. And I just are not get full custody, but some type of some type of visitation. Because maybe it's just because how I grew up, it never happened. I'm not suggesting that it's the same now, but in the last 10, 20 years, these dudes having these babies and they're just not in their children's life at all.
This is what the problem is. Most people think that visitation and child support is hand in hand, but it's not. It's separate.
Emmanuel made that clear. And
so just because you have a child support order does not mean that you have visitation rights. You have to go and file for that.
Right.
And they don't want to go to the courts and file for that.
Well, I think it's a cop-out for those that don't go and do it because they hear how tough it is from the good guys. That's some bullshit.
And then a lot of them have reasons why the courts wouldn't give them visitation. Because what are you doing in your life? And I mean, that was one of the things I've asked people before when I've heard clients say, well, the mother, she just won't let me spend no time or take my child nowhere. The first question that comes to my mind is not what type of person she is, but what are you doing that she don't want your child with you to take your child? I mean,
that could go both
when
ways.
you're in the street.
That could go both ways, though.
Right, and it does.
It could be
really
that he ain't shit, and then it could be that maybe she just don't want him. If I can't have you, you can't have your child, type of thing.
That's true. If you don't pay, you can't play. There are some people who are like that too. Mm-hmm. But I do remember a situation right over in Walnut Hills. It's been a few years ago now, where a guy, he was in the street, had his 8-year-old son sitting right up front in the truck with him. And when they came to shoot him up, they killed his son too.
Happens a lot. Just happened to that rapper.
If I had a child with someone who I knew wasn't right, and they was out there in the street,
ripping and running the streets, my baby is
I wouldn't want my child out there with them either, because I don't know what he's doing out there.
That's true.
I would be like, we're gonna have to have your child in a special class, a certain place, so we're gonna have to meet together or something. And then a lot of them, they don't want to really spend the child. They think that if I go and get partial custody, it's going to stop the child support. We have that happen a lot too. Okay. And it don't. They go and they get partial custody. Well, I got partial custody now. And we're like, but the order don't say to stop your child support.
And that's probably why they have separate. And I'm not saying it's the primary reason, but that makes sense to have separate courts for these two different situations, because just because you have somewhat of a custody a weekend, that shouldn't take away how much your child, how much they should be able to receive. And the
people also have to remember that the Court of Domestic Relations and juvenile courts both handle child support cases, and they both handle them separately. Court of Domestic Relations is handled from when there is a divorce decree. Okay. Juvenile courts handle cases where a person was not married to that person, so that child was born out of wedlock. Or if a couple is married, but they have not filed for divorce yet, then juvenile court will set what's called a 75N order, a temporary order for them. And that's how it goes. But that juvenile courts and Court of Domestic Relations, they handle those cases separately and differently.
Right, I see.
Also, this is one thing that people have to, and I've been reminding people of this often. Mm-hmm. Instead of being worried about who is up in Washington, in the White House, be concerned about who is in your state in the State House, because the state legislators are the ones who set the laws for child support. And if anybody wants to find out any particular thing about the child support, look up the Ohio Revised Code.
So
that'll tell you about the child support laws.
I got to ask you something. Are you up on the new law thing, or is this just a rumor of that if guys are I don't know exactly what it is, but if a lady is able to file taxes for the child, then that would take away from the man's child support?
That has not been passed.
Okay, but it
is. That's just a rumor. It has not been passed.
But it is a real thing. It's something that
it's a thing where if it's a part of your order, that's already exists. If it's on your court order that he is up to date on child support, then sometimes what they do is they let them trade off years. Like he'll have the even years, she'll have the odd years, or whatever. Okay. But nothing new has been passed yet.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I'm back to the place that I always said, I was blessed and fortunate to only have to visit that situation. Look, I'm an open book about stuff like that. Right. I've been down there before. I ain't totally green to this shit. I've seen the orders and I've seen stuff. I just was able to do something different in my life. But when you know that, I mean, I had a situation, but at the same time, I have not been as far as some of these guys have gone with this child support thing. I have never doubted that people are treated wrong in that environment or in that system down there. But
very much so.
Right. But at the same time, I'm standing on the fact that if I've been around enough dudes that just don't get involved. and they sometimes use the excuse of what they haven't been through, just other people's experiences by just hearing how tough.
A lot of the stuff that we hear people come in and tell us, it's not that they've heard it from anybody that worked for child support or that they've read anything. It's just another person on the street who told them something. I've had people standing in line telling them, yeah, they'll make you pay for them when they're in college.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not true. If that's a part of your order, they will.
I think what happens is this, and I think Emmanuel Livingston and some of these other brothers that are good guys who went through tragedy with this situation, I think bad guys take situations from good guys and make it a thing. You understand what I'm saying? Because they ain't experiencing the same thing that Emmanuel Livingston and some of these guys are experiencing. They're not experiencing that. It's just like anything else. If somebody could listen to somebody's true story and make it their own without even going through the experiences. And I'm telling you, from the people that I know that didn't have children and people that I'm the child of people like this, bro, you ain't never been down there trying to get no damn custody of a weekend.
And then there's so many of them, they just know how to play our system. You know, they'll pay every 60 to close to 90 days because they know we can't press an issue on suspending their license or sending them to court until they are 90 days behind. So they'll pay, say, April, and then won't pay again until July because they know we can't do anything.
Right.
They ride on that on there and make us do all of this paperwork to prep it, and then a payment comes in.
I understand.
And then it all starts all over again.
I got you.
You know, work under the table so it won't automatically come out of a pay because they're considered independent. They're not an employee.
I got you.
You know, women call us and say, well, I know he works for this company, but is that company his actual employer or is he just being 1099? Is he is he an independent working for that company? A lot of guys who are into trucking, they just have their own trucks. They're independent. So that company that they work for is not responsible for taking any money out of the pay. Because at the end of the year, they say, here's a 1099. We didn't take any taxes. You square up with the IRS on your own.
Yeah, they're independent contractors at that
point. And if you don't have to pay the IRS, if they don't have to take any taxes or anything out for that person, that individual, they don't have to take the child support out either.
Okay. Hey, Sabrina, I appreciate you enlightening us, giving us that information.
All
I've talked to
right.
you a couple times
Anytime.
about it. I've talked to you a couple times and nothing's changed. You're saying the same thing you said a couple years ago or a year ago.
Yeah, I love giving people information on it and give them the real deal from what I know from my experience.
You know what we need to do? I'm sorry to cut you. I'm just short on time. Let me tell you what we need to do. We need to schedule a day that you come in at the beginning of the show. You up to maybe answering some questions to people that may want to call in?
Yeah, that would be great. That would be good. And actually, if you want to, when you all do a live remote, let me know. And that would be some things who come in.
You went too damn far. Hold on. Let me tell you, I don't want to be nowhere where look, I'm going to give my opinion. I don't know if I want to be in open air talking about some child support shit. Because there's some people out here don't know how to have they don't know how to have no conversation.
I was going to say, we might have to get some of our sharing friends to come and visit.
Yeah, hell to the no. I can't do a live remote about a topic like that because it's going to be some people that just don't know how to act. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true.
But let's get you on the phone one day at the beginning and you take some calls about, look, and I'll keep it all the way like this. My finger will be on the button because I don't want them talking to you like you the judge that did them wrong. We want the information that needs to be given to help people go in the right direction.
That is so true. And you know what? One of the things I will say is being that I have been on the front line for a long time because I did case management and now I'm in the financial end. I like the interaction with the people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the bantering back and forth with them, but I ain't scared.
I hear you. Well, I am, and we ain't gonna do no live remote out in front. Look, I don't want to have to shoot nobody out there on no live remote. I got shit to do the next day. I ain't got time to be bailing myself out.
I told the deputies by the time they get over there to them, they'll be leaking. Don't mess with me. I got issues with sharp objects.
That's right. Hey, Queen, I will be in touch. Okay.
All right.
Peace
You
and
take
love
care.
to you. All right. Talk to you. Thanks
All
for
right.
engaging with us. That's Sabrina Calloway. She gonna come in and give us some information one day. And you know, we'll get to the bottom of some of the things. Maybe her 30 years will be able to answer some questions of why things are going the way they're going. Listen, I don't think there's any right or wrong. I think different people do different things. Here's the thing. You get somebody like Emmanuel Livingston who's down there with one child, trying to do everything that he possibly can and try to do things the right way. And then you get motherfucking Tyrone down there that got 4 kids going through the same type of shit, and he has a whole different persona, a whole different attitude toward the court than someone like Emmanuel Livingston or one of the good guys. All right. And then they come down there and do crazy shit. And then everybody gets up in this old treating everybody the same way. Let me give you a perfect example. And this might not be on the lines of what I need to say about it, but I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about. One of the things I hate about going into the Ralph Lauren store, I know this is like, well, where the hell is this going? I hate boosters and thieves and shit. You know why? Because the reason why they put those little holes in my clothes with them monitors, those monitors on, those detectors that go through the door. You understand what I'm saying? I hate the fact that they put those holes in my clothes because of you motherfuckers that like to steal the shit all the time. I would really like to go somewhere where thieves don't go, and I got to get these little holes in my clothes because that's one of the good guys who's trying to pay for his clothes, but you got bad people that interfere with good people's lives. It just happens sometimes. You understand what I'm saying? I'll see you tomorrow. That's my time. Peace and love to everybody, man. I'm out. Thanks, Sabrina Calloway, for the information. Peace and love to everybody. See you right here tomorrow, same time, right here. Holla.
Caught up in my feelings, fuck around and kill another nigga, you ain't even gotta push me how I'm feeling now. I've been having mood swings like a Gemini. I could use the murder for therapy. I can make the news with it. Break the internet, have them all nervous and scared of me. Then get away sneaky clean, never seen a thing. I got 44 F and them bullets and 25,000 stuff in these mirror jeans. Damn, look at what happened to hip-hop. He at the Grammys, he still got that shit cop. Pull out the cameras with me and my bitch out. And take a picture, ain't a hating nigga in the world out here fucking with Big John. Knock out his brains if he got it on his mind. Lonely, lonely baby. Lonely, lonely baby, a lonely, lonely baby, lonely, lonely baby, lonely baby, a lonely, lonely baby, a lonely, lonely baby. As if I got a reason to act like I'm lonely. I saw my big brother laid out with his brains blowed out, it's been catching up on me. Shit, how would you act if your bro took his life and you know that you rapping? Make all of these niggas and don't even trapping. You living your life the best you ever had just to see it come crashing down burning. You don't know the feeling. In the car with a bottle of liquor, a pistol, a lonely killer. Ain't no love at the top, just a lonely nigga. Ain't no love at the bottom either. All these blood-sucking leeches and bottom feeders. All these sores on our feet cause we overstepping. He just called us first one, so you know he reppin'. He just a lonely, lonely baby. Yeah, baby. Peter Piper picked the pepper. I pulled a stick out, hit him, then I left her. She put my dick out, hit her on the dress. We fucked my aggression out. She like a press so high. I fold her up and put it in her. She fucking a lonely nigga, that's a killer. Nickel.
That ain't the baby, that's my baby.
Kid. It's Weezy, baby, at the top it's lonely. Got choppers on me, can't stop the moment. I just popped the song, man, and now I'm calm. All that body on me, got you hot, I'm warm. And it ain't gonna help you more than I'm gonna harm you. Out here by myself, rolling like an army. Fuck her by herself, fuck her with her homies. I don't need nobody, I don't see no silence. I don't see nobody, come and see about it. I bet you see a Rari on Giovanni's. And I bet this pipe knocked the Peter out. Him better pick a pepper. All my little devils high from here to heaven. Better get a reverend, bet his mama cry when she hit a reverend. Shots hit the reverend, better get it extra with your lonely ass on your only fans. You your only fan, you gon' die stripper. Wasn't born to dance, fuck the 1,000 niggas, I'm the only man. Let you stay lonely, let you skate on it, let you play on it, then lay on it and cut on them J on it, like you were not alone.
Lonely, lonely baby. Lonely, lonely baby, a lonely, lonely baby, lonely, lonely baby, lonely baby, a lonely, lonely baby, a lonely, lonely baby.